Chucky, best killer. I never believed a toy could terrify me, but the night I found that doll in my cousin's basement, something about its glassy blue eyes made my skin crawl. It wasn't just the way it stared it was the way it seemed to know me. I'll start from the beginning. Last summer, I went to stay with my cousin Trevor in Illinois. He had just moved into this old house, creaky floors, drafty halls. The kind of place that always felt a little too cold, even in the middle of July. Trevor was excited to show me the place, but I couldn't shake the feeling that it wasn't exactly welcoming. On my second night there, a storm rolled in. The rain hammered the windows and the power flickered, leaving us sitting in near darkness with only candles and flashlights. Bored, Trevor suggested we check out the basement. The creepiest part of the house? He joked. I laughed, but when I opened the basement door, a cold gust hit me so hard I nearly lost my breath. We made our way down the narrow stairs, our flashlights cutting through thick shadows. The air was damp, heavy, and smelled like rust and mildew. Boxers lined the walls, stacked high and collapsing in on themselves. That's when I saw it. A red Dandiello box, half buried under blankets and junk. The words "good guy" were faded but still readable. And inside, staring at me through the clear plastic window, was a doll. Bright overalls, orange hair, round plastic face butt. Its smile looked too wide, too stretched. Holy crap! Is that Chucky? Trevor laughed, pulling it out. I told him to put it back. I don't know why, but everything in me screamed that we shouldn't touch it. But Trevor wasn't listening. He dusted it off and set it on a shelf, saying it would be funny to scare his girlfriend with later. That night, I woke up to the sound of something moving in the hall. Slow, deliberate footsteps, too light to be Trevor's. At first, I thought maybe the old house was settling, but then I heard a faint giggle. He agreed, mostly to shut her up. He grabbed the doll, shoved it back into its box, and tossed it into the trash bin outside. That should have been the end of it. But at 3:17 a.m., I woke to a sharp bang, like something slamming against the wall. I sat up, heart pounding, and listened. The house was dead, quiet until I heard the back door creak open. I crept to the window, pulling the curtain just enough to peek outside, and my stomach dropped. The trash bin was tipped over. The box was empty. I shook Trevor awake, whispering frantically that the doll was gone. He groaned, said I was imagining things, but I dragged him outside to show him. His face went pale when he saw the overturned bin. We searched the yard, the basement, the house. Nothing. No doll. Finally, around 4:30, we gave up and went back to bed. I barely slept, jumping at every creak. In the morning, Amy was gone. Trevor thought maybe she left early, but her shoes were still by the door. Her phone was on the table. The police got involved, and for days they searched. No sign of her. It was like she had just vanished. But I know she didn't. Because that night, I woke up to that giggle again. And when I looked toward the foot of my bed, I saw it. The doll sitting upright. Its plastic face tilted slightly, those glassy eyes reflecting the moonlight. And in its tiny hand was a lock of Amy's hair. I screamed, kicked it across the room, and bolted into Trevor's room. He thought I'd lost my mind until he saw the doll lying in the hallway where I kicked it, its smile sharper, almost mocking. We burned it that night, poured lighter fluid all over it in the fire pit and watched it melt, its plastic face warping in the flames. The smell was sickening, but we stayed there until it was nothing but ash. I thought it was over. But 2 weeks after I got home, I found something waiting on my front porch. A small package. No return address. Inside, wrapped carefully in newspaper, was a single red shoe. A doll's shoe. I don't know how much of this you'll believe. Maybe you'll think it's just a story. But I live with the fear that it's not over that. One day, when I'm least expecting it, I'll hear that giggle again. Because the thing about Chucky, the reason he's the best killer, is that he never really dies. And he always finds his way back.